In Genesis chapter 11, God divided the globalists by dividing the languages. Technology and trade are now the tools being used to reunite the languages. After recognizing that it exists, the second thing we must do is recognize the tactics that they implement. I'm going to give you 12 tactics of the New World Order. Write them down. Every time you watch a newscast, every time you hear a newscast, every time you pick up a newspaper or a magazine, I want you to note, I want you to be aware, I want you to recognize that you are witnessing the strategy of the New World Order planners. There could be many more given to you, but for sake of time, I'll only give you 12. Here are their tactics. Free trade deals. NAFTA, CAFTA, GATT, WTO, on and on. Free trade deals. Number 2, economic mergers. The European Union, the Security and Prosperity Partnership, the North American Union, North American Community, economic mergers, uniting the economies of nations. Number 3, foreign aid, entangling alliances with foreign nations via foreign aid. Does anybody in this room believe that President Barack Obama is going to give any less foreign aid than President George W. Bush did, and President Bill Clinton did, and President H.W. Bush did? Foreign aid will continue and grow. Number 4, military bases all over the world. We have military personnel in over 100 countries around the world. We are now a global empire militarily. Our founding fathers feared a standing army. They wrote much on how the American people needed to beware of the dangers of standing armies. And then to think that we would become entangled with the nations of the world militarily, as we have, was absolutely unthinkable to the founders of this country. Military bases all over the world. You may be interested to know that while the U.S. government is closing military bases at home, putting American citizens out of work and American companies out of business, military installations around the world are proliferating as never before. Number 5, perpetual war, as I've already mentioned. Perpetual war is a tool of the New World Order globalists to enslave us. We accept more draconian abridgments on our freedom during a time of war. The cost of funding the war demands greater and greater expenditures, greater and greater taxation, more and more debt, more and more deficit spending. The New World Order planners, listen, you might as well tear your yellow ribbons up, because the New World Order planners, if they have their way, will never bring America's troops home. They'll never come home. Number 6, I think it is, illegal immigration. Allowing the free and unabated access cross borders with illegals is a part of their strategy. Next, was it 7? Buy languages. How many times when you pick up a phone do you call AT&T or some other mega corporation, international corporation? How many times do you get the privilege of talking to an American? Someone who actually knows English. You pick up a phone and you call a major corporation and you talk to someone in India or Indonesia. Halfway around the world, all across the world. Pick up a phone, press 1 for English. Press 2 for Spanish. On our cartons of milk and everything we buy, words in English, words in Spanish. Drive down the streets, words in English, words in Spanish. Go to the airports, words in Spanish, words in German, words in English. Number, is it 8? Military cross-training and alliances. We are now training the armed forces of the world right here in the United States. Every day of the year, our military personnel is training alongside foreign troops, here and abroad. We are preparing our military to accept international forces. Our military is being prepared today to accept the integration of foreign troops with Americans on foreign soil against Americans. It's not an accident. It's not a coincidence. It's a strategy. Military personnel must succumb, must submit, must be merged into this international understanding. It's no longer an American Army, an American Navy, an American Air Force, American Marine Corps. It's now international in scope. And our commanders are being required to train their troops alongside military commanders of other churches, 9 or whatever it is. Gun control is a strategy of the New World Order. The civilian population must be disarmed. Must be. It's essential. Barack Obama will send his legal team to do everything that they can to take as many of our firearms and ammunition and so forth away from us as can possibly be done. Count on it. Political correctness in our homes and churches. Number 10. Parents thinking they have to raise their children according to politically correct dogma. Churches, pastors thinking they have to preach and teach according to politically correct dogma. Number 11. Heavy debt, deficit spending. And number 12, promoting international culture. Those are all strategies of the New World Order proponents. Number 3, we must recognize, I'm almost done, that all of the above is incompatible with freedom. It's incompatible with American independence. And listen, child of God, it's incompatible with the teaching of Scripture.